Where do you start? It's those are the kind of matches that just you live for as a player, and to be in it and to be part of that moment, and just to see what our team has kind of gone through the last several weeks and the kind of tough situation we had traveling here, and for them to kind of come and gut out a 5-set match when we were down, and they never quit, our team, and just really proud of them hanging in there, the effort that they've put in, the work that they've put in, and like I said, a lot of fun to be a part of a match like that. And just I'm really proud of our whole team, but these two were lights out, and Khat came in, and holy cow, she she gave us what we needed: confidence, aggression, some swagger. It was fun seeing her go to work, and so I thought great match by her, and then she was really dominant as well, and just that consistency I think saw us through.
I love that. I'd like to open it up for questions.
Yeah. 3-0 against Omaha. What do you think you match up well with Omaha and you're able to do against them?
Ooh, great question. I don't know if it's necessarily a good matchup or anything. I think this league is pretty even across the board, and honestly, any given night, anyone can win, and we saw that there were moments where Omaha honestly could have taken the match, and that just shows the depth of this league. But again, to Chris's point, I just felt like we stayed very tenacious throughout that game, and that was the factor that helped us win it. But other than that, I don't think there was a clear advantage.
I have a quick question for Chiaka and Khat. Congratulations, y'all both hit new season highs in points earned tonight, which is exciting. What was going through y'all's head throughout the entire match? What just attributed to those stats?
For me, in my mind, I was just thinking that one thing that Chris noted this week, you don't know this, but congrats to you. He talked about arm swing far as like we're almost like arming it, like shouldering it. He talked more about throwing a ball, like pitching it. And so this week in practice, I was really focusing on like, okay, let's pitch. Like, so I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I do know how to do that. And so that's one of the things I kept doing, like, just like I'm in the air, just throw it, just throw it, just throw it. So, and just being confident in myself, like the worst thing can happen, you get blocked and that's okay. But just being confident and just knowing that like, aim for high hands and just go for what you know kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, we've caught a couple like unlucky breaks in the last couple weeks, and I think it's just this feeling of like having some pride, and I think we spoke to that a lot this past week, and this feeling of like, I will do anything for this team for us to win, solely based on pride. I know how good we are, I know how hard we work, so I think the women on this team really deserve this, the staff deserve it, so it was really just putting everything I had for that.
I love it.
Chad, you talk about fifth set, 4-match points there. What's the mentality as you're facing those to kind of dig out from underneath?
Just experience, honestly. Just I've been in these moments before multiple times, many of times, and just, like I said, just being confident and trusting myself and trusting my teammates. I think the biggest thing for me is just like finding like the cohesiveness of just us being together and having that, like she said, that pride and that energy. So just kind of feeding off that, just breathing that fire into the girls around me. So I was breathing into them, they were breathing back into me, and I felt that was what carried me into the next few points.
Chiaka?
Yeah, I think there's things that don't show up on a stat sheet, and coaches talk about this all the time, and when I was younger I didn't understand it, but I feel like tonight was a testament to that. I truly feel like we would not have won that match without Khat. I felt like the things she was saying, how she was talking, how she was like really believing in us, feeding people energy in our faces when we needed to be held accountable. I feel like those are the type of things you don't necessarily see, but you feel, and it helps you play your game. So, appreciate you. I'm getting emotional.
Please don't.
Obviously, y'all know about the environment in Austin and at UT and kind of how impactful women's volleyball is there. But coming up here and also a very volleyball-dominant fan base, so open to all of y'all. How was the environment tonight, even though being the away team, but seeing all of the support and energy from the crowd tonight?
Yeah, we're used to it. Like I said, we've been in Nebraska, I don't know how many times playing at Texas, so we know the fans are coming in and they're going to heckle, and not heckle, will be loud and kind of in our faces too. So I think it's a fun environment to be in, actually.
Yeah, and like kudos to them.
Yeah.
Like for my wish for this league, I hope that's the standard across the board. Like in every city, there's an Omaha type crowd. So I think they're kind of setting the stage for that and setting the standard, and I just hope every city follows up.
We need
with that.
Austin to kind of show up a little bit more of that. Austin needs to
Call
take
out.
Obviously, this is your first time being in Omaha with Love Austin. So.
Yeah, and I've been around Nebraska volleyball crowds a lot, and so just you can't speak highly enough for the fan base and for how hard they go for their teams and how respectful they are of the opponents and how they appreciate good volleyball. And it was wild to me. You could hear this huge noise, and then as soon as we'd score a point, it would just shut off. And it was, you could tell, like, the crowd was keeping them in the match. And so, yeah, like I said earlier, this is what you kind of love to be a part of if you're a volleyball player, if you're a volleyball coach, like these kinds of matches. And obviously you love it if you come out on the end we came out on, but just this environment was great, and tons of respect to the fans that came and showed up.
Chris, how did the blizzard impact your travel?
You know, it wasn't, I don't know if it was the blizzard or not. Just the airline had a plane that wasn't working, and then they got another one in, and it wasn't working. And then by the time they got it working, the crew had timed out, and so we changed it. So we sat, the plane was already late, and then we sat in the plane for 3 hours. And I think it was getting close to the point where they had to, like, quit, and we'd have to get off and come back on. Pilot finally shows up, and so I was joking with somebody. I was like, usually when you travel for 13 hours, you end up in like Rome or China or something, you know. But we just ended up in Omaha.
Hour and 25 minutes
yeah.
flight.
And so yeah, it was a rough travel day, late night, getting to sleep, and so just I think bringing that level of fatigue, because you know how it is. Just you're trying to sleep in a hotel and you're trying to be as good as you can for this moment. Bringing that level of fatigue and just having to like find the emotional and mental strength to carry you through. Just it's not easy, and these guys did it.
That was yesterday that happened.
Yesterday, yeah.
We'll work on charters year 3.
Yeah.
To the
Yeah.
books.
I have one more question. Chiaka, how good did that block feel to end the game?
I feel like I heard you chirping behind me, like, get me one. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
okay, I'm gonna get you one.
Yeah.
I mean, great. We had kind of trouble stopping them going cross court, like basically all night. So it felt good to kind of end on that note, doing what we know how to do. So, yeah.
Chiaka, Sammy Francis made her pro debut. She was signed 3 days ago. What was your impression as a fellow middle of what she was able to do for Omaha?
Yeah, middle's such a hard position. I feel like to just come in and like make a presence, and I thought she did a really good job of being steady for them and creating some opportunities for them. So shout out to her. That's a really hard position to be in 3 days in.
She flies back to Palo Alto after tomorrow's match to finish up her finals.
Oh wow.
That
Staying
has
British.
You have to be in class for that?
I don't know.
Send that.
Right.
That's crazy. All right, we all good? All right, thank y'all.
Hey, just can't thank you guys enough for covering volleyball, for being here and doing this. Just thank you so much for being part of the volleyball media. Appreciate it.
That was nice.
Thanks, Chris.
Love League One Volleyball.